Hey, good morning, everybody. Brian here, and I'm here to do something I have not done in a while, quite some time, I should say, and thank God that YouTube has now allowed us to have 15 minutes to do this. So I'm here to give you my predictions for this Sunday's WWE Night of Champions. Now, I just watched the PWR show, primetime show on YouTube from Max Sports, and I saw their segment of Be the Booker, and excuse me, I have a bit of a sniffles. I don't know why. Maybe I caught something. I don't know. But anyway, I saw the segment called Be the Booker, and they brought up and David Hero, who was playing the role of the Booker this episode, brought up some good points about how the outcome of certain matches throughout the night can affect storylines leading into the next couple months and stuff, and why certain outcomes should happen. Well, I know that everybody else here on YouTube that's a WWE wrestling fan that's probably going to order or bootleg or download this pay-per-view when it happens or after it happens has the predictions. I know some fans might, follow it online, like at places like at Wrestling News World and No DQ. But anyway, let's get into my predictions for Night of Champions. Now, they covered most of the matches except for one, and I'm going to start. I believe this is going to be the opening match because it's not a title match. It's not a title match, so it's going to probably be the opener. Excuse me, got a cough there. But this is probably going to be the opener, and it's Big Show versus CM Punk. Again, this is not a title match, so I believe this is going to be the opener. A lot of people, from what I understand, are kind of indecisive about this. Some believe that CM Punk needs to go over against the Big Show to finally get that significant big win again. Some are saying that it could be Big Show just because maybe he's got that new movie coming out this fall. I don't know. But I'm kind of in between here. I mean, if I was booking this match, I would say let's CM Punk go over. Either it's outside interference or let's say it exposes the turnbuckle and ramp, and let's say he gets Big Show to gain enough momentum to where he hits the exposed turnbuckle, and maybe that allows CM Punk to barely lift him up for the GTS or something, or put him in the Anaconda Vice or whatever. But if I was booking this match, I would say CM Punk, because CM Punk, again, I do agree with some people, needs to get that significant win to get maybe back in that main event status. But that's how I would book it, for that reason, to get CM Punk going. But but I would have to go with Big Show as well, because he's got a new movie out, and WWE wants to promote Big Show with this new movie, which is called Knucklehead. So I would definitely would have Big Show go over just because he's got that movie coming out. So again, this is kind of like indecisive. But if I was booking it, honestly, I would go with CM Punk to at least get him back in the title picture of some championship, maybe the world title, eventually down the line. Now, the second match of the night, I believe the second match of the night is going to be the United States Championship match. Now, let me explain why I believe it's going to be that. I believe Raw and SmackDown are basically going to have the matches follow each other. That's what I believe is going to happen. Raw and SmackDown are going to have them follow each other, so we're going to open up with the SmackDown match, and that's going to be followed by the United States Championship match between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. And I believe, like anybody else, that Daniel Bryan is going to go over The Miz. Daniel Bryan is going to beat The Miz, become United States Champion, and there's a reason for that, and I think a lot of you know that reason, and we'll get to it when I get to that matchup. Now, that's how I would book it, so we could have that reasoning towards the match that I'll get to the main event match that I'll get to, and I think you all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would have Daniel Bryan going over The Miz. However, if WWE continuously wants to book The Miz, rocket him to that moon of main event status and make him be exactly what he says he's going to be, then I would have The Miz win, just so he could, again, and this would play again in the same scenario even if he lost. Because this would allow The Miz to do exactly what he promised to do when he became Mr. Money in the Bank. So that would be the only reason I would book The Miz to win, to at least allow him to try to make history later that night. But if I was booking it, on the fact of just getting the title off Miz and getting it on someone new and letting Miz focus on Money in the Bank, I'd go with Daniel Bryan. So, again, if I was booking it the way I'd want to, Daniel Bryan. But again, if WWE books it in a way that says, okay, we're going to keep the title on The Miz and then let him try to cash in later on that night, then they'll want to do it for historical reasons. But that would be the only reason. Alright, following that match, we would have the tag team title match. It would be the Hart Dynasty against to be announced opponents right now. Those to be announced opponents are going to be probably Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, apparently from what I understood, got a win over them on SmackDown. So I would probably go with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. But then again, it could be two members of Nexus. You never know. But I do predict Hart Dynasty to go over Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes because of two reasons. These vignettes, these little promos we have with Cody Rhodes, since he's been on SmackDown and became Dashing Cody Rhodes, I think this is leading towards Cody being a babyface. So that's why I believe Hart Dynasty will retain over the team of Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, because I think WWE is going to try to book Cody Rhodes as a babyface eventually down the line, if that's who's challenging the Hart Dynasty. If it's Nexus, however, it's any member of Nexus, whether it's Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater, or Michael Tarver and David Otunga, or any combination of those four guys, I believe Nexus will walk out with the tag team titles, if it's them. So, again, if it's Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes that are the challengers, I go with the Hart Dynasty. If it's Nexus as the challengers, I go with Nexus. Now, that follows up with a Intercontinental Championship match. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a bit of a cough, sore throat or something. But that follows up with the Intercontinental Championship match. Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler. Now, the stipulation has been added on that Damian Nelson and David Hero did not mention in the booking of the show, in their self-proclaimed booking of the show on PWR show, was the stipulation that if Dolph Ziggler gets disqualified or counted out, he will lose the Intercontinental title to Kofi Kingston. Now, a lot of fans feel as though this has got to be a must-win for Dolph Ziggler to be taken seriously as a champion. Now, we know he's going to have Vicky Guerrero and Ricky Vaughn, or Caitlyn as she's called, at ringside. So this is the way I look at it. Dolph Ziggler will go over Kofi Kingston, but with the help of Vicky Guerrero and Caitlyn. However, I think if Kofi Kingston wins, it'll be because Caitlyn and Vicky Guerrero will cause enough of the distraction that will cause Dolph Ziggler to go out of the ring, possibly get counted out, or will cause enough of the distraction that will get Ziggler disqualified, or enough of... It's just three scenarios if Kofi wins. One, it's going to be by countout because of the distraction. Well, all three scenarios are going to be because of this distraction. Distraction of Vicky and Caitlyn. Either it's going to cause a countout, disqualification, or it's going to distract Dolph long enough to where Kofi's going to be able to hit him, possibly with the Trouble in Paradise, and get the 1, 2, 3. Excuse me again. But that's why I see Kofi winning it. Again, if they want to make Dolph Ziggler a legitimate champion, then he definitely has to win this match. And whether it's by distraction or not, he's got to win it in the middle of the ring. No disqualification, no count out. He's got to win it in the middle of the ring. Either having Kofi distracted or not, he's got to win it. That's the only way WWE can have Dolph Ziggler taken seriously as a legitimate Intercontinental Champion, as a serious Intercontinental Champion, and that's how I would book it for Ziggler to win, so that he could finally be taken as seriously as a champion. But if I was to book it for Kofi, I'd have to say Kofi wins due to distraction, either three ways of that distraction over Dolph. So, but if I was booking it, I would book it, believe it or not, with Dolph winning legitimately in the middle of the ring, distraction or not. But I believe I believe Dolph will have to capitalize on a mistake to win. So I'll go with Dolph to win it, to be by mistake or distraction, or that's my true pick. But if they want to put it back in Kofi, it'll be because of the distraction being going three ways against Dolph. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the no holds bar match for the World Heavyweight Championship. I know that sounds a little crazy. Undertaker versus Kane. This is kind of indecisive. I know a lot of fans are hoping Kane beats The Undertaker finally to get that legit win, which would cause a Hell in a Cell match. But again, I think we're going to have a Hell in a Cell match between these two either way. Because this is the way I look at it. If Undertaker beats his brother for the world title at Night of Champions this Sunday, Kane is going to want a rematch, and he's going to want a rematch in the Hell in a Cell, because that's when Kane first appeared in the WWE, was during Hell in a Cell. So what better way to capitalize on or try to finish off this storyline than to have Kane challenge Undertaker to a Hell in a Cell to finally finish off the feud, basically challenge him to the match that he made his debut in. So that would be how I would book it if Undertaker won. That would at least give Kane a reason to do that. Undertaker, if Kane was to win, then I believe Undertaker would challenge Kane to a Hell in a Cell and probably put his career, as some people have probably indicated, on the line to at least get Kane to put the title match, to agree to the title match. That's what would happen. So, but if I was booking it, I would book it for Undertaker to win, and thus having Kane challenge him to a Hell in a Cell match, which would basically be 13 years in the making, because Hell in a Cell match was when Kane made his debut. So I would go with Undertaker, most definitely in my booking wise, to go over Kane during this match. But if it's Kane, then Undertaker will challenge him to Hell in a Cell and maybe put his career on the line. But I'm going with Undertaker in this match. Then, believe it or not, the next match after that will be the Unified Women's and Divas Championship match, Lumberjill match, or Lumberjack, Lumberjill, whatever you want to call it. Melina versus Michelle McCool. This could go either way. Some people I know are probably hoping Michelle wins so we get a Michelle-Layla feud, because at least it would be one storyline that we would have in the Divas division or Women's division. So, but I would say, again, this is kind of a toss-up. It could go either way. I would love to see Melina win because she just came back from injury. She won the Divas title at SummerSlam, and I know that to really, cap off her return from injury, it would be best to put her as the first undisputed women's champion. So I would definitely go with Melina over Michelle McCool, and I believe it'll be because Layla will interfere in this match, and Layla will cost Michelle the match. I believe that's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. I think the Lumberjills are going to have be a factor in this. They're going to, they're going to fight for both sides, but I believe Melina, if I was booking it, it's going to go over Michelle McCool because of two reasons. One, again, like I said, is to cap off her return from injury. And two, WWE would want a legitimate woman's wrestler. That's what I said, woman's wrestler as their champion, as the first undisputed women's champion. So I would go with that. And still, we'll get the Michelle McCool-Layla feud down the line anyway. Then, we have the six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. Edge, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, Wade Barrett, John Cena, Sheamus. I believe, believe it or not, I am going to go with Randy Orton winning this match. That's right, Randy's on a roll. I don't think WWE is going to want to destroy that roll, so I believe Randy Orton's going to win this match. If I was booking it, he would.